Hello Stampers, it's Debbie with Stamp It with Debbie, and I'm here today with a live demonstration using the Everything Festive stamp set from the holiday catalog. And here are my samples here. I'm going to show you how to do 3 different projects from one stamp set today using the same stamp set. So if you're joining me now, thank you so much for joining me. If you'll just leave a comment below so that I know you're here, I would really appreciate it. And I'm just going to go ahead and get set up on my iPads so I can follow along and mostly make sure that I'm right side up and that we don't have any technical difficulties. That's the easiest way for me to follow that. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. It's very sunny here in Michigan, and I'm hoping to enjoy the rest of the afternoon. And I hope that you will too. All right, again, I have 3 projects from the Everything Festive stamp set. And if you follow me on Facebook, be sure and come back. I hope you come back every day, but follow me the rest of the week. Hit the subscribe button so you never miss a post, because I'm going to show you a couple more projects from this set just to show you how versatile it is. So again, this is the stamp set, and you can probably see, but I'm going to just read some of them. It has P.S. I love you, which could be used for Valentine's Day. You might just want to make a card that says I love you. I'm going to show you in a minute how you can kind of pull some of the words out of stamp sets and don't use the whole phrase. You can use from our home to yours. I think that's going to be fabulous for if you like to bake or give a little treat to your neighbors. It doesn't even have to be a baked good. You could put some candies in a package and take it over from our home to yours. Merry and bright, wishing you peace, love, and laughter. I'm going to show you, this says in the new year, but I'm going to show you something with that in a minute. Be my Valentine, Winter Wonderland, and a Halloween stamp. So you can use these all alone, or if you wanted to, you could step the cards up to make them a little bit more detailed and add, say, a pumpkin or one of the other stamp sets, the vampire or a mummy or something else that you have, or you can do it just like this. So that's what I'm going to show you today, is very simple layouts so that you can use them this way, or you can step them up if you choose to. Now these are the projects, and this one is obviously a New Year's card because it says in the new year. This one's a Valentine card, Be My Valentine. And then we also have a Halloween card. And so those are the 3 that we're going to make today. If you'll give me just a minute to get set up, we can go ahead and get started with the demonstration. So again, if you're just joining me now, go ahead and leave a comment below so that I know you're here. And if you're new to following me, thank you so much for finding me today. I hope that you will find me, if you're finding me on YouTube, I should say, come on over to Facebook and find me at facebook.com/stampitwithdebbie. And if you're finding me on Facebook right now, go ahead and click the link that will be in this video afterwards, and find my YouTube video and subscribe over there, because I do sometimes post things over there, and sometimes we miss things on Facebook. So that way you'll never miss any of my crafty fun. So let's get started. I think that I'm going to start with a Halloween card. Let me set these 2 aside. And I did try to demonstrate a little bit of the different ribbons. And a couple of the other projects that I'm going to share later in the week will also show some different ribbons. We have some fabulous ribbons in the catalog right now. And it's hard to use them all at once on any one holiday, so I'm going to try to kind of show you some of the accessories that go with not just the stamps, but you know, I'm trying to say not just stamps, because we have a lot of awesome accessories as well. So for this card here, we're going to start with a piece of pumpkin pie, cut at 8.5 by 5.5. And typically I would score it at 4 1/4. I think I forgot to score this one today, but this one, when it's cut this way, seems to fold pretty well. So I'm going to use my bone folder. And that piece is ready. Let's go ahead and stamp this piece here. I'm going to use some Memento Black. And I'm just going to ink that up really well. And this is the nested framelits that comes with the bird. I believe it's Bird Ballad Suite. I always forget. I will leave a number of the product in the comments below as soon as I'm done with the video. I'm using these same framelits all the way through today just to kind of keep it easy for everyone. So there we have it, just using Memento Black, nothing else. Now we could use our markers to change this up a little bit to make part of it black and part of it, you can't use the Stampin' Blends markers because those are alcohol and they dry very quickly. You have to use these, the Stampin' Write markers, because they stay wet longer. And so you could write on the back. And so if you wanted to, you could do part of this orange and part of it black. Today, just for simplicity, I'm going to keep it all black. Now we have a piece of basic black cardstock, and that is cut at 3 3/4 by 4 1/2, and a piece of the Halloween designer paper cut at 3 1/4 by 4. And I'm just going to go ahead and attach that designer paper right to the front of the basic black. And then before I attach this to the card base, I'm going to wrap a little bit of the ribbon. This is the Scalloped Edge ribbon, and I just want to show you real quickly. One edge is scalloped. It's really nice. It does tie a nice knot or a bow, and it stays pretty well. And this is not just for Halloween. I could see using a little bit of this ribbon for a masculine card, or for a Valentine card that you have some pink and reds and blacks and different things. Maybe put it at the bottom of the card. Let me show you in just a minute what I mean, because I've done this before, where you tape a little piece of ribbon down, and then if you had a full piece, you could tape this on top, and then you just have a little scallop edge at the bottom. That's really cute. Now I'm just going to cut a little angle here. Looks like I got a little too much ribbon, but that's okay. And now I can go ahead and put this piece down. Sometimes I forget to tie the ribbon before I make the card. So a couple things you can do. We'll talk and craft here. A couple things you could do. You could change this card into a 4 1/4 by 11, and then you'd be able to wrap the ribbon all the way around. Or you could just tie a bow here instead of wrapping it all the way around if you accidentally put this piece down before you intended to, because it does happen sometimes. All right, now I'm going to put a couple dimensionals on the back of this piece. And then I'm also going to grab one of the new embellishments from the holiday catalog. And those are the holiday rhinestones. You can see I've used quite a few of these. I was looking to see if I could tell what colors they are, and I really cannot. It looks like Call Me Clover maybe, and Pool Party. And this one might be Crushed Curry that I'm using right here. So whatever this yellow one is, and I feel like it's Crushed Curry, but it might not be. I'm going to add a couple of these rhinestones onto the front of the card because I think they look real good with the pumpkin pie. And let me see if I can find those in the catalog real quick, because sometimes I think that things disappear on us, and it's real hard to see when there's a whole catalog full of things, and we just overlook stuff. It's real easy to do that. So I'm just looking real quickly to see if I can find it. I will leave a link either way. I'll leave a link to the product code number just in case you want to order them and I'm not finding them. See, they're so well hidden. that I can't even find them. Maybe somebody else knows exactly what page they're on. Obviously, I found them at one point because I ordered them, and I'm not finding them. So if somebody knows what page they're on in the holiday catalog, if you want to just leave a comment. Otherwise, for sure, I'll leave a comment as soon as the video is over and leave you the item number. So these are really fun. And that's those. Here's our card. We're going to be using those again. So this is our card. How quick and easy was that? Now we have a handmade card. And again, if we wanted to step it up, we could put some punched out bats on here. We could add some of our these little monster faces that are from the designer paper. You could put that in there, work that in there somewhere. Lots of things you can do to step it up, or just keep it simple and let someone know, hey, I'm thinking about you and I hope you have a great Halloween, because it's really not necessarily about how fancy the card is. Of course, people like beautiful cards, but it's not always about how fancy it is. Imagine how you feel when you go to your mailbox and you see a card instead of a bill or junk mail. It just makes your day. So get those cards out there. And one thing that I want to start doing, and I'm going to start doing it this next Monday, I want to start tracking. I think we started doing that last year and didn't. So over on my Facebook group, I want to start tracking how many cards we send each week, and I'm going to keep a little tally. And at the end of the year, I'd like to share that number with you just to see how many cards that we've sent out and how many people we've made smile, because I think that's very important in a time where people are feeling so much stress and anxiety, and life just gets tough sometimes. So whatever we can do to make someone smile is a really great thing. So this is our next card, Be My Valentine. And of course, you could put any of the sentiments on there. This one would be really great with the Merry and Bright. And somehow I've already lost my stamp set. Here we go. It'd be really great for the Merry and Bright. You could also do this card from our house to for our home to yours, and include, again, a little treat that you created in your own special packaging. You could do this one, the I love you. It definitely could be the Winter Wonderland. So again, very versatile. Again, we're going to start with the 8.5 by 5.5 card base. Just go ahead and fold it in half. And then I have a piece of the silver glimmer paper, and that's 1.5 inches by 4.25. And I'm going to go ahead and put this right on the front of the card. And then I have a piece of Whisper White, and that is cut at 3.25 by 4.25. And then I have a piece of designer paper cut at 3 by 4, and this is from the snowman paper. Look on the back, the very sparkly snowman, but it's the red. And so again, our designer paper can be used for other things besides just Christmas. We can make it a winter card, a New Year's card. And so again, we're gonna put a little bit of ribbon on there. This time I'm using an oldie but goodie. This is the metallic edge ribbon, and this isn't in the holiday catalog, but it is in the annual catalog. I like how sparkly it is, and did you know that you can color this ribbon with your Stampin' Blends markers? I think I've shown you this technique before. All you need to do is get a piece of scrap paper, lay this on top, and run your Stampin' Blends marker over, and you can make ribbon to match any color that you want, any color ink. And this is a great one for it. The silver will stay shiny at the edge, and the white part just changes whatever color you want it to be. So I'm going to cut that off there. And then, oops, I just have to adjust it a little bit. And I'm not tying this in a bow. I'm just going to tie a simple knot. And I tie it around and kind of use my other fingers to hold that first part of the knot down while I bring the other part around. Okay, so I have this piece. Now I can go ahead and attach this right to my card front. And then we need to do our greeting. This one I'm going to do Be My Valentine. So I'm going to get my real red ink in the stamp that says Be My Valentine. And put that right in the middle. And then I'm going to use some dimensionals again to pop that up. And then I wanted a couple hearts on there, and there are a couple options in the annual catalog. You may already have a heart punch. I used right here the dog builder. I'm using this little heart right here, but I wanted to show you over in the dies. We also have this Stitched Be Mine that was out last year for Valentine's Day that carried over into the catalog. And then there are a couple other, in the holiday catalog, there's a set of excuse me, 4 punches, and there's a heart in there. I don't have that one, so I'm going to punch a couple hearts from some silver glimmer paper. And see if I can find them here. Sorry, I think I swallowed the wrong way. All right, and I'm going to use a couple glue dots and just attach these real shiny hearts. If you don't have a heart, you could also just put regular rhinestones on there to make it shiny. So there's card number 2. And again, you can change this up however you want to. If you wanted to put a different saying on there, you definitely could do that. And the card would stay the same because a red card doesn't necessarily have to be for Valentine's Day. You could use the one that says I love you. All right, there is card number 2. This is card number 3 that we're going to do. And this is with the new frost paper. And I forgot to bring it over to my video, but I wanted to show you, just in case you haven't seen it. You probably have. But each of the pieces of designer paper has a pattern on the front, and they're beautiful nature scenes. And they're very easy to use. You could simply stamp like this one. You could stamp the moose, punch them out, put it right on here, cut it down to your card front. They're very good for birthday cards, anniversary cards, New Year's cards. That's the front. Here's the back. They all have the silver metallic on the back with different patterns. And so they're so beautiful. I'm hoping you can see that they're, yep, I think you can see now. They're silver metallic. So they're beautiful. So even if you don't like the fronts, which I'm sure you will, the backs are fabulous, fabulous background papers, or just to add a little bit of dimension to your card. So that's what we're going to do on this one. And my card today is going to have a little bit different background because you get 4 sheets of each, and I just wanted to change it up a little bit. Now this card base is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And then I'm going to make it open this way. I took my piece of designer paper and cut it at 4 by 5 1/4. And yes, I did have to use that beautiful seam there. But that's okay because I love the background too. Now, even though it takes up a lot of your front of your designer paper, it's 4 by 5 1/4. And the, oh, I almost messed up. Let me finish my thought. You are left with a 2-inch piece, which is very easy to create a card because you could do some embossing on the back of the card and run your 2-inch piece here. And then this is what I'm using today. And then go ahead and put this on here. And so you could make a second card by using this piece I'm going to use for the whole front. And then the second piece, let me pull it out so I can show you. This might not be the leftover. So if I cut this at 5.5, which is what the front is, 5.25, then I could easily put this on here with a greeting and create a second card. So I'm not wasting that extra piece. I'm still able to use it. All right, I almost forgot on this one when I told you, be careful because you might accidentally put your ribbon on before you mean to. And I already put my adhesive on. And I'm using some of this metallic ribbon. This is in Seaside Spray, and it's beautiful. And I almost forgot to put it on before I glued my piece down. So I'm at the end of the rope with that pack. Oops. So I will cut this one a little bit longer. Now I'm going to just run a little bit of adhesive on the back to kind of keep it in line. And then I'll be able to tie that in a minute. I did already put the adhesive on, so I'm going to go ahead and put this down. I would recommend tying that before you put adhesive on. But I forgot. But no worries. Okay, so now I'm going to just tie a little knot over here again. If you wanted to tie a bow, you definitely could. Another thing that I've seen people do, I'm going to show you real quick, is if you have trouble holding this in place when it's like this, take a little glue dot once you've tied it and stick it down in there. So I tied it, I wrapped the ribbon around itself, and then I stuck a little glue dot right under here. It will probably permanently hold it, but I want to get my knot in here. Now, if I decided that I needed to move the bow down a little bit, I would just lift that dot off there. So that's kind of a helper to hold your ribbon down, just in case you feel like you don't have enough hands to do what you need to do. And so now we're going to stamp this. And I'm going to use the Seaside Spray. And again, I'm using the one that says, wishing you peace, love, and laughter in the new year. And I'm going to wash this off because I want to show you something with this. We'll finish making our card, and then I'm going to show you something with that stamp. I don't need the ink, so I'm going to go ahead and put that away. I'm going to directly attach this piece. I just cut one that's one size bigger, and I am going to use dimensionals. Now, again, if you are just joining me and you didn't hear me say, if you place an order through my online store, actually, I think I forgot to say this. Sometimes live videos can be tricky. You forget what you say because you get caught up in sharing. If you would like to place a $30 order through my online store, I will mail you these projects for free. And I can either mail them to you as a make and take kit, you can let me know, or I can mail them completed. I just can't mail the stamped parts for you to assemble them. But if you want, if you place a $30 order, I'd be happy to send these to you in the mail. So this piece we're going to go ahead and attach right on here. And I think this one is going to be a little bit different than the other one. And that's okay. And I'm going to take my holiday rhinestones. This time I'm going to use the blue ones. And I'm just going to add 3 on here to give it a little more bling, even though the silver in the back is a lot of bling. And there is that one. So again, this is how you access my online store at stampitwithdebbie.stampinup.net. And here's the host code I would like you to use in order to qualify for the make and takes. And I didn't forget that I wanted to show you something else with one of the stamp sets. So I'm going to leave this here. Now, if you have a stamp set, and remember I said that you cannot use the Stampin' Blends markers because they're alcohol markers and they'll dry too fast before you color this all up and bring it down. It can be done, but it leaves kind of, in my opinion, it leaves kind of a splotchy look. So if you take the Stampin' Right marker and you take the brush end, you have two ends on this. You have the writing edge, and then you have a brush edge. We're going to take the brush edge, and we're just going to go over this. Now, I might want to use this as an anniversary card or a wedding card, so I'm going to leave off the part that says, in the new year. And you can do this with any of them. Like I told you on the Halloween one, if you wanted to do the writing in orange and black, you could also do that. I'm again, be sharing some other projects with this stamp set throughout the week. Now, what I always do is what they call huff. You want to put moisture back onto the ink. So after you've colored it, because it may take you may not color as fast as I do to get all the color on there, and some of your color might start to dry. So you want to add some moisture back to your stamp set. So just take your breath and add a little moisture to it. I just did a with my breath on it. And then stamp it down. And there you can see you get the same. So wishing you peace, love, and laughter. If you wanted to leave off the peace, you don't have to color that part. So you could just color the wishing you love and laughter, and that could be, like I said, a wedding card or an anniversary card. It's the same with all of the stamp sets. And again, if you want to color part of it one color, I'm going to share that later this week, so be sure and stop back. I'll show you a little trick on this Halloween one on a few things to do. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it on this lovely Wednesday morning. I hope that you enjoy the whole rest of your afternoon and that you're able to do some stamping this week or this weekend. And be sure and share on Saturday for Sharing Saturday. We always like to get inspiration from each other, and I get lots of inspiration when you all share. So I really appreciate it. Oops. Let me bring these projects back one more time. And there we go. Thank you again. And I hope that you have a very wonderful rest of your day. Thank you, and I'll see you again real soon.